My next 2 points may sound a little rude or a little mean, and I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this, but we need to bring back. Hey, y'all, it is Jared Javon, say the Hollywood hero, and I am back again to talk to y'all about The Race of Drag that is produced by Rupaul. The All Stars edition. This is going to be a partial review for All Stars 9, but it's the start of a new series of videos I'm going to start making called The Real Issue. And basically, in these videos, I'm just going to sit and take, what may be a trope, something that I see going on, a series, anything, and, see what's working, what's not working, and, what my ideas would be to fix it. And today we're going to be talking about RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars and how to stop it from clicking down, because it's been clicking down for the past like 3 seasons for me. I'm so sorry.
You're clicking, but you're clicking down.
I didn't want to do a full out review for All Stars 9 simply because it's not my cup of tea. I'm not going to say it's bad or that it is not good, but it's just, it is.
I'm not gagging.
And so I think All Stars 9 is kind of like the culmination of what has kind of been going wrong with All Stars this whole time. And I didn't want to really do a full season review because I honestly think it would have been more negative than positive. And we don't need none of that. We don't need that in the world. If y'all want something that's a little more positive and Drag Race related, I did just do a Drag Race Season 16 review on top of my whole series of ranking my top 30 lip syncs and, all of the other Drag Race stuff that I have on this channel that I said was not a Drag Race channel, but simultaneously has many Drag Race videos on it, okay? As with any piece of constructive criticism, which that's all I'm seeking to provide, we're going to start with the good. And the good part about All Stars, what is working for me, is the concept overall. Everybody loves a comeback. Everybody wants to see their favorite queen who either didn't get a fair shake or wasn't ready or whatever situation may have happened. Everybody loves to see them come back. People are going to tune in just off the strength of one or two girls returning and getting another shot at this thing. So, there's nothing that needs to be tweaked there. It's simple math. Simple math. All right. I don't mean to be negative, but that is about all that's working for me right now. So now we're going to get to the things that need tweaking. And these aren't necessarily complete failures, but they just need a little bit of tune that up real quick. Now, when it comes to the lip sync format on All Stars, I enjoyed the top two and, somebody choose a lipstick and go home when All Stars was originally introduced. I mean, I don't count All Stars 1 because it didn't happen. It didn't happen. As far as All Stars 2 and their top two format, I enjoyed that. Now, when they tried to switch it up for All Stars 5 and bring in the lip sync assassin, it didn't necessarily work the first time out, but All Star 6, they found the perfect balance for it. And I, really saw it as them doing dual marketing, getting a queen in front of audiences, but also kind of testing out if we brought them back for All Stars, would people be here for it? And I think that was really smart of them. And so then we started getting into these more, I guess, specialized seasons. All Star 7, of course, it went back to top two. And then we went back to the lip sync assassin format. And I think for All Stars 8, it didn't work because you didn't have that many strong performers. I'm sorry. Then All Stars 9, we are back to the top two, and it's cool. It's all right. I don't see anything wrong with necessarily trying new things and trying new formats, but it changes so often with the All Stars format that we never get a chance to really get used to it. I think the fan base really settled in when it came to All Star 6. as far as the lip sync assassin format, and then it was taken away for All Star 7, and then when it was reintroduced, it was like, y'all could have kept this, no shade. And then we go back to the other format with really no rhyme or reason to do so. My next point that needs a lot of tweaking, or a little bit of tweaking, let me not be rude, but it's going to be the casting of All Star seasons. I think this issue stems from a good couple of things that I'm also going to get into in this video, but I think whatever is going on behind the scenes, the casting needs to be a little more stern or a little stricter. I think one or two queens who, come and reintroduce themselves but may not do as well in the competition, that's always expected. However, I think the past couple of All-Star seasons, regular All-Star seasons, I would say, have not been stacked evenly. They haven't been casted for chemistry. All Stars 9, I will give it the fact that, the relationships are really the saving grace of this season for me. But as far as chemistry, when it comes to a lot of these casts, it hasn't been there for me for the past couple of seasons. I think All Star 6 worked well, but if you would have gave me any of those names on any random day, I would have been like, girl, I don't know about this. Unfortunately, we have to stop airing All Stars every year. I think the Drag Race bubble, while I don't think it's about to pop, I can recall right before season 16, I and a lot of people were starting to become really fatigued on Drag Race simply because All Stars 8, it didn't give us nothing. It really didn't. Everybody knew Jimbo was going to win from the top, and it just, as a season, did not hold the viewer. It did not. I'm a Drag Race super fan, and I struggled watching it. I'm so sorry. I understand World of Wonder and RuPaul, they want their coins, but at the same time, less is more sometimes. Less is more. My last thing that needs tweaking, I think the challenges on All Stars as of now are cool. They're great. They're good challenges. But when it comes to distinguishing them from the main season, sometimes, and I would say specifically when it comes to the past two All Star seasons, it really isn't distinguishable. No shade. I remember when the talent show was an All Stars exclusive challenge. And it makes sense. You haven't seen some of these queens in 3, 4, 5 years, and you want to be reintroduced to them. And also, if some of these girls, slip up like Pheromone, or, have a massive flop, it's going to give you a moment. However, now they've taken it to the main season, and everybody is like, oh my gosh, we have to sit through, no shade, 16 girls sit up in here and get on stage, and 10 of them are probably going to lip sync. No shade. And while everybody loves a good lip sync, we're going to see that every week. It's just not necessary. I don't see the reason for the talent show to be on the main season, and it needs to remain as the first challenge on All Stars. When it came to the fame game for All Stars 8, that didn't make a lick of sense for me. I enjoy the fact that they were trying to give these girls more exposure and give them more bang for their buck, but it just, let's do things that make sense, okay? Sorry if my lighting or anything has changed, y'all. We had a small little technical snafu that required a little bit of troubleshooting in the back. My mic died. But anywho, now we're going to move on to the section of the video where I talk about the things that, when it comes to All Stars, they need to take the concept, rip it up, throw it in the garbage, burn said garbage can, and then throw said garbage can into the lake. These are, things that I just, maybe if it were executed in a different way, it could have been cute, but it just ain't working for me. And my first thing that is not working at all when it comes to All Stars for me is this non-elimination format. I know that the girls do not want to waste their money and, cancel bookings for multiple weeks to multiple months. And, these girls want to show off they drag, but at the same time, at the same time, you're in a competition, sweetheart. And the thing about competitions, when you don't do well in them, you are asked to leave. So there can be a middle ground, which I'm gonna get to that in my next point. But yeah, y'all gotta go home, or y'all ain't gotta go home, but y'all can't stay here because there's only so much airtime, and we want to see a competition with stakes. The non-elimination format not only takes away the stakes of the competition as a whole, because nobody tries until it's time for that final two, final three showdown. And 9 times out of 10, with All Star 7 and All Stars 9, they're going to do like this special challenge where you can get, multiple stars or multiple whatever in order to qualify for the finale, to where it's anybody's game. And to me, that is not a worthwhile competition, quite honestly. And to add on to this fact, no shade, and call me messy, whatever you want to say, but when y'all do these non-elimination seasons and give them like, oh, the golden snippers or the ruby plunger, I know it's the other way around, but shit. But when y'all give them these tools to, try to create conflict, I see the girls, they are working overtime to try to still give the people good TV. They're working, they're trying, they really are, especially, the girls like Roxy Andrews and Nigeria on this season. But it just, the thing when they taught you in school that like anything times one is still itself, or you multiply a number by zero and it's still zero. You know what I'm saying? It's like they're trying to multiply stuff, but it's by zero. No shade. My next point kind of goes along with my previous point, but Untucked is just kind of becoming a little bit pointless. Now, in seasons beforehand, of course, if you did not watch Untucked, you truly were missing half the story. But now it's like when you watch Untucked, you barely get 33% of a story, period. Like they just sitting around and it's like, oh, hey, girl, girl, hey. Like, and then the special celebrity guest barges in when, I think the fan base as well as the queens are kind of over that. I see the sentiment. I see what you're trying to do, but let's stop trying. It's okay. It's okay. The last thing for me that is not working when it comes to the All Stars franchise overall is just the identity of it. I think they had a really good thing going with All Stars 2, and I think they perfected it, on the second go round. And then All Stars 3 came along and they kept the same format, except when it came down to the finale, they did a jury vote. So it's like, cool, we get a twist, whatever. But then All Stars 4 comes along, the format is changed again. Then you're changing the Snatch Game to Snatch Game of Love. There's just, I understand we are trying to differentiate it from the main series, but at the same time, I think there needs to be like a true establishing of identity when it comes to All Stars. Like the lip sync assassin twist. I enjoyed it personally. I think once they finally ironed it out in season 6, it was a worthwhile twist. But then immediately after, y'all went back to the same format. It's just like, I think All Stars is in a spot where it doesn't know if it wants to go backwards as far as what it was doing or go forward. So now it's just kind of like in the middle and ain't nobody having fun. So, or I won't say nobody's having fun, but we sure ain't having as much fun as we was 45 minutes ago at this party. We got to get a new DJ or something. Something. All right, y'all. Because I'm not the type of person to just sit here and complain, and criticize without giving any other solutions, I'm going to give y'all my ideas for, fixing these issues that I've raised up within the All Stars franchise. We're going to speed run through this because I'm sure this video is already like 25 minutes. My memory card only has so much room. Let's go. My first fix, I think we need to unfortunately bring All Stars to a little bit of a slower pace or a slower crawl. It needs to be every 2 to 3 years. It not only allows the numbers and the pool to increase, but it also gives the girls who need time to blossom for an All Stars the time that they need. And also, it just helps the audience to crave All Stars more rather than expect it every year right after the regular season. My next point, y'all need to keep the talent show for All Stars. Snatch it away from the main season because I don't want to see 16 girls lip syncing, with the exception of probably two. It just keep it for All Stars. The talent show is an exclusive All Stars challenge, and I think it should remain such. As far as the non-elimination issue or the issue when it comes to eliminations, I think a quick fix that might do a little bit to mitigate something, perhaps do 3 to 4 episodes that are non-elimination, right? And then make these 3 to 4 episodes have every type of challenge that you can expect from Drag Race: design, acting, improv, and some type of musical or performance challenge. This way, these girls are reintroduced to the world, especially if they are coming from an older season. They're reintroduced. Their entire wheelhouse within a certain, set of parameters is now shown. And if they are eliminated early, they can go home knowing that they showed, at least multiple parts of themselves, and I don't think it would be wasted. I think it would help when it comes to exposure for a lot of these girls, or re-exposure in a lot of cases. And, it mitigates the elimination issue, or maybe the exposure and money issue when it comes to elimination, but also lets the audience, have their cake and eat it too. My next 2 points may sound a little rude or a little mean, and I'm going to hold your hand when I say this, but we need to bring back All Stars. I'm sorry. I'm not going to single anybody out because we, of course, always need a couple of, people who are just destined to go home first or are destined to not do as well in the competition. However, All Stars 2 specifically was such a fun time because all of these girls were the definition of an all star. So every time somebody went home, it may have been justified, but it was a gag and a half, 2 gags and a half, quite honestly. And so to bring that gravitas, because I know World of Wonder has been trying to recreate the hype that All Stars 2 created ever since then. I know y'all are. Anybody who makes something worth its salt is always trying to do such a thing. And I think, in order to do that, y'all have to reassess the talent pool that y'all pulling from. And that's not being rude, but I'm being real. I'm sorry. And my last point, which I think it also might come off a little rude, but I don't mean it that way. I do think we need to cut down on some of the All Stars like franchises, simply because I don't want the bubble to burst and it'd be like, well, now we have all of this and we have to cancel everything, as opposed to you can cancel some things or put some things to the side for a couple years and, save that bubble from bursting. Let's bring it in just a little bit. I think if you're going to have global all stars in addition to casting international queens on the American All Star seasons, then, shows like UK versus the world or Canada versus the world, I don't really see too much of a point in them. Now, of course, the franchises that are not English speaking, like España or, whichever ones that have their own All Stars, stay, because that is y'all's, RuPaul's Drag Race. Yeah, that is y'all's main thing. But when it comes to Canada versus the world or UK versus the world, these English speaking girls who can just as easily be casted onto a regular all-star season. It just, I think we're limiting ourselves while also exhausting all of the talent, if that makes sense. And I know these girls will come back 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times, but hey, let's reel it in, y'all. But yes, y'all, those are my thoughts on the All Stars franchise as it stands right now. You know, what I think is doing well, what I think can be fixed. I may not be doing as many top 10 Tuesdays just so I can make time and make room to be able to make more types of videos like these that are longer form and where I can really just let my hair down. I know I'm bald, but it's in spirit. It's in spirit.
I want to make sure, okay?
Because it's an inner cry, bitch. My heart is crying.
I'm definitely going to at least make one a month for you guys, but the goal is to try to make at least 2 top 10 Tuesdays per month, just so y'all not missing out on that goodness, or for those who, do enjoy my top 10s, because I know some of y'all do, and I appreciate that. Thank y'all for rocking with me. Thank y'all for, tuning back in after that extended break that I did not expect at all. Please, like, comment, subscribe, share with somebody you think might like it, and have a good day. Peace out.
I want to make sure, okay?
Because it's an inner cry, bitch.